Okay, welcome back to Broke Bets. We are now on to the NFL playoffs conference championship games. But quickly, we'll just recap the previous week. And yeah, what's up, dude?
What's going on, my guy? Another winning week in the NFL.
Yeah, it's four straight winning weeks. Like I said, we turn it up for the playoffs pretty well. You just kind of get rid of all those shitty teams, and your predictions will just get better. And a lot of free money options on these books if you really like scout for the lines they'll give you. So yeah, 2.79 units positive off of the divisional games. To start off, DraftKings had a boost on Hurts getting two passing TDs. I think it was boosted from minus 160 to plus 100. And Hurts got these really fast. I didn't expect it to happen in the first quarter, but it did. So you just made my money real fast. I also bet the Bengals plus 4. I think the Bills, people got a little more hype on. Without Von Miller, this team really struggled in the pass rush. And I think with that snow, the Bengals' kind of shoddy offensive line was able to push forward more and win their battles, which is actually kind of surprising. And then as the game went on,
The Bills' offense became so one-dimensional. I think
right.
they only ran the ball like 13 times.
And as the game went on with that snow too, like it's gonna be harder and harder to get in the game. It was just like how the Bears played the Niners this year in that first for week one matchup or whatever it was, and it rained like crazy at the end of the game, and you just knew they weren't gonna get back in it. But then you had the Eagles and the Chiefs parlayed.
Yep, those guys were favored as the number one seeds, and they both came through.
Right. You also had the Giants spread with the Bengals spread.
I thought the Giants would have been able to stay in the game a little bit, especially being the third time playing each other, division rival. Um, but they got blown out pretty good. So
Right. I mean, I don't know. Their team just like they're just fully outmatched. They looked good versus the Vikings, but the Vikings defense it was just nothing. And then following that bet, you made an extra one with the Bengals because that one died off. Right.
right. Then I did Bengals and 49ers. I felt like the 49ers should have won that game, especially being. I just felt like the Cowboys being on 2 days less rest really they were at a big disadvantage. And I think that helped the 49ers towards the end of that game where they started to be able to run the ball in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Purdy really didn't have that great of a game, but if you just like factor in how like Micah Parsons was like almost taken out of the game by like Trent Williams and how Dak Prescott kind of threw a couple shitty passes too. Kind of just had to factor those types of things in when making a prediction. But it led to another solid week, like I said, plus 2.79 for four weeks winning in a row. Okay, for the NFC Championship game, I have we have the Niners versus the Eagles. I'm gonna have to stick with the Niners here. I think that they've played with a lot of momentum. You know, they're in the giant win streak. The Eagles, on the other hand, have looked very good along the way, but also just railed the Giants without a problem. I think that defense of the hard hitting Niners and Fred Warner and some guys who get more involved in that running game will have their influence out there. And yeah, I really like them to still win this game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this should be a really good game. I do think a big part in this game will be 49ers rushing, pass rush. If Nick Bosa will be able to get to Jalen Hurts. I think Lane Johnson hasn't allowed like any sacks this year. So I'll be curious to see how that matchup plays out, or if they'll have Bosa on the other side.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's a whole good defensive line too. So like, I know Bosa's obviously that like fire to it, but the Armstead and all those other guys, they still got their chance to get there too.
Yeah, and then the Eagles D line, how will they perform against Trent Williams and company? Um, if the 49ers are able to run the ball effectively, I like them to win this game.
Right. I mean, Brock Purdy didn't look too great in his last game. Missed some passes. Looked kind of rushed. Um, and the Cowboys blitzed him a couple times, but I don't know. There's just something about the Niners have been playing super consistent, and like Brock Purdy hasn't been making a shit ton of rookie mistakes either. And I don't know if Jalen Hurts under that heavy pressure of Nick Bosa and possibly some of these other guys will, and he'll probably get blitzed by Fred Warner as well. How he'll do under that pressure. The weapons on both teams too will be interesting. Like AJ Brown kind of is very similar to Debo in the way that they can both can break tackles and go for big plays. So I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of toss ups to those guys or how things are gonna work. Um, do you like anything about the over under or player props?
No, I don't like over under here.
I'm
Um,
almost certain a book will give a odds boost to the McCaffrey touchdown because they do every week. Um, and I don't know if I'd go for that one exactly. I really do like George Kittle for anytime touchdown scorer. He's he's just like a common red zone target for this team, and he's getting more involved in the offense since Purdy's been on the team. So I like that one.
yeah, I think Dallas Goddard on the other side would be a decent play too. Get the tight ends involved in the red zone.
Right.
Um,
All right. Well, if you got nothing else for this one, we'll move on to the next game.
yep.
All right, for the next game, Bengals at the Chiefs. I'm going for the away team again here. I kind of anticipated a better line for the Bengals. Um, it always just feels like every time these two play, they'll just make the Chiefs 2.5 point favorites or whatever, but maybe they learned their lesson on that. Um, and I'm going to stick with the Bengals here. I think that their defense has been playing better as the season went on, and um, Joe Burrow should be able to have a decent day throwing against this team, but it's going to be that classic shootout type game, and the over can also be a nice spot for this one.
Um, I am leaning Chiefs here. I think the Bengals have beat them three straight times, uh, and the Chiefs opened up as a 1 point, or I don't know what they actually quote unquote opened at.
I think it was 1.5 on
First
most
line I
books.
saw was at -1 for the Chiefs. Now they were at +2.5 yesterday, and now they're at +1 today. So when the lines move like that, I tend to favor the underdog now. So
Yeah, you
I
like to
do,
pick the team that has less money coming in on them
yeah. I
for their
mean,
spread and stuff too. But
yeah. I think that typically is how it plays out. So I think if you can get Mahomes, um, he's going to be playing. So I don't see that as a factor at all. At home in a big game, I think this line at +100 money line is a good line.
yeah, I mean, I'm on the Bengals side, but I actually won't bet the -120 in this scenario because I think this will be a shootout style game. I'll click your side of it. Um, I do have a bet that I placed in the playoffs, I think during the wild card round, that was 49ers and Bengals to meet in the Super Bowl, and that's at +1,000. So obviously those odds now are like +300 or something. So I kind of like um, my odds of getting that through, so I don't feel like I need to place a huge bet anywhere. But I do still like the Niners money line. I'll probably wait later in the week just to see what happens with all that. Um, and I might bet the over in the Bengals game just because it feels like every time Mahomes is in the playoffs, they're throwing the ball like crazy. I think that the keys to the Chiefs would be like for them to keep the ball on the ground and like be really diverse towards that defense. Never know what's coming, and they have played that way this year with Pacheco and like McKinnon and people. Any player props you like?
No to the over-unders. If I was to lean one way, I'd probably go the under. I think it'd be like a 20, 24, 23 score game. So
I think the last couple times they've played, they've scored over 50. So I'm thinking that way. It was like 24-27. In the playoffs last year, it was like 34-31 or something.
Yeah, the number's still high.
But I think the thought process is to like the Chiefs could go on like 5-minute drives, and then the Bengals could go on like a 5-minute drive, and the clock could run real fast.
I think Travis Kelce anytime touchdown score looks nice, especially in the big games. He's getting a lot of targets, especially in the red zone.
Jamar?
Him as well, yeah.
I think Pacheco. I think a rushing TD would be good for the Chiefs too. If you look at one of those running backs, probably Pacheco.
Yeah,
but I
don't know. With those guys, they like split carries, so I'm a little hesitant to bet on the running backs there.
An individual line I'm looking at that I actually really like on this right now, is the over-under for the Chiefs, just their score is set at 23.5 points, and that's at minus 105. I feel like that's a pretty good number. I think that their team they'll keep it within 3. This game will be within 3 points, and the winner will win by a field goal. That's always what I think about this matchup.
Yeah, I guess that line kind of evens up with the over-under line. They're thinking 23, and they're going to lose by 1.
Right.
So, interesting stuff.
Okay. Well, stay tuned to the Instagram. We will have our bets out for this game on Sunday. Other than that, planning on having UFC picks video coming out tomorrow or Friday, so just stay tuned for that as well. Anything else from you?
And no football next week, but we'll have Super Bowl the following week. I think the Pro Bowl's next week, so
we'll do a video for that.
Yeah, we'll not be doing anything for that.
All right. Peace.
Peace.